Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Here goes tonight. Like 20.
I got it. Check three.
Round.
Now a first down throw, gone. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Play.
Now a give, right side. McFarland. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Brings up third down and 11.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, gone. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
2nd and 11. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 94 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Cut.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
1st and 10.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Check 4, check 4. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Let's go.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
In your face. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Check 26, check 26.
Here's Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Now a give, right side. McFarland. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Check 15, check 15.
A shotgun snap for Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. Now it's gone. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
A run for Nick Chubb, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. This started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's taken down all the way inside the LA 10.
First and goal.
Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. They're going to look to throw. He'll get this to Eckler. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a second and goal. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll run on first down. McFarland, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
By 20.
47. And watch that. And watch the ball.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
On 2nd and 9. Goff. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Goff now looks to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a gain of 16 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
2nd and 9 now. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A nice-looking play to start the drive, down the middle and complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He's going to rifle one. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mikel Roby-Coleman, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Goff. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Goff. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Marcus Davenport picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time, one-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Corey Littleton coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Watch the slap. Watch the slap. Check 43. Watch safety 3. Safety 3.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch time.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
6-6. Pull it high.
On 1st down, McFarland. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Back 22, back 22. Watch the curve.
Goff now looking to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Check 99. Check 99.
Now gone. And he comes back with one complete. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one.
Right, 20. Now you won. Here we go. Slam.
Now Goff on first down. He's going to go up top for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Bullock missed it. No good. Wide to the right. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today.
A 32-yard attempt.
And Bullock will put this one through. So yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Once more, here's Eckler. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Switch.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
I'll pick up with 2 yards. First down, New Orleans.
Watch the out.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Second and 12 at the 40-yard line.
Set, right in. 58, come on. Watch the slant. Watch the out.
going on the ground with Eckler. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
It's now 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Black 20. Ric Flair.
They run the counter. McFarland. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 2nd and 2. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give, right side. McFarland found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 37-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Chubb. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Goff. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Big hold of the 30. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And all the way up to the 31-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
And the Saints, first down.
Back to throw now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. 2nd and long. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Saints that'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the fourth. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch time. Time is right.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Corey Littleton. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Hey, check. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight right. 4 down. Check 52.
Back to throw. Gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long.
Kill.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Here
we go on 2nd and 12. And the defense loses him. It's complete. 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, 77 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Gall. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Robert Woods, 83 yards, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter. And don't look now. They're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That was very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Set up to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
I got you.
They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Samson Ebukam in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Goff on 1st down. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Brings up 3rd down and 12.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Goff now to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Little. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
On 2nd down now, McFarland. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Short game, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On 4th, they'll go again and try it once more.
12. Here goes it. Mark 22, Mark 22.
They go ahead and snap it. Gone. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So this one, a victory here.